Hi again, Aria here, and welcome back to part 8 of this Artist's Way series, where we cover The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And we're covering week 8. So week 7 was a doozy, and it was great, and I hope that you found your footing. And as usual, if you're on the wrong video on the wrong week, then don't worry. There are 7 other weeks to go through that I will list down below for you. So you can go ahead and catch up. So week 8 is about recovering a sense of strength. So let's go through these notes, shall we? This week tackles another major creative block, time. You will explore the ways in which you have used your perception of time to preclude taking creative risks. You will identify immediate and practical changes you can make in your current life. You will excavate the early conditioning that may have encouraged you to settle for far less than you desire creatively. In other words, you are going to be really digging deep into those learned patterns and behaviors that have contributed to you wanting to accept less than what you're worth. Because here on this channel, here in Aria's universe, we are all about making sure that we are given what we are worth and not accepting anything less. And you are worth a lot. Just in case you didn't know, you are. So let's go through the rest of these notes. So I have a few notes. This week is probably going to be a bit shorter because really I didn't have that much to kind of go through that I felt that really stuck out to me, but there are a few things. So the first one, creativity cannot be comfortably quantified in intellectual terms. By its very nature, creativity eschews such containment. In other words, it's not something that, if you're worried about like AI and all the little data points and things taken over, creativity is a lot more fluid than that. All right, so it says that the art of creation itself, the art of creative construction, meets with scanty support, understanding, or approval. To be blunt, most academics know how to take something apart, but not how to assemble it. So everything is more about creation, not, nitpicking different things, but about creating. Here's another one. So this is what one person says. Like the career of any athlete, an artist's life will have its injuries. They go with the game. The trick is to survive them, to learn how to let yourself heal. All right? Just as a player who ignores a sore muscle may tear it further, an artist who buries his pain over losses will ultimately cripple himself into silence. So when you get that constructive feedback, make sure to face it head on and take what resonates and let the rest go. Otherwise, it kind of festers and festers until you feel that you don't really want to share your art with the world. And that's actually a common problem, especially, in different classes and things where people feel like they want to speak out less and less because they're criticized or there's a nerve that's touched. And instead of really facing that head on and making sure that that heals, it just festers. So I'm about making sure that we heal. And when we heal, then we're able to create with more vigor. So the next one is, I loved this one. This one really stuck out to me. Yeah, listen to this. The grace to be a beginner is always the best prayer for an artist. The beginner's humility and openness leads to exploration. Exploration leads to accomplishment. All of it begins at the beginning with the first small and scary step. So what that really means is don't be afraid to be seen as a beginner. Don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to be sloppy. Don't be afraid to be cringe, because at the end of the day, it's taking that first step. That's what leads to mastery of a craft. And there is no one, not one person in this world that didn't look the cringe while taking that first step. So it's better to just take that first step and really go for it rather than being afraid. Because what happens when we're afraid? Then things never get done. Then that fear takes over, that self-doubt takes over, and the next thing you know, you feel like you're not able to move forward and you feel stifled, and then you feel stuck, and then ultimately you feel like you don't know what to do, because even though you've worked things over in your mind over and over again, you haven't taken the action to be able to be in that part of your creativity. So don't be afraid if things are bad. Don't be afraid if things are unpolished. Just make sure that you go and be the best version that you can be for you in that moment. So that is really all I have for you today. I've gone and made sure that I did the morning pages, of course, done an artist date. I hope you've done the same thing as well. And I've also done a few tasks, and I hope you've done some tasks as well. So let's go over quickly what is up ahead for week 9 next week. And that is recovering a sense of compassion. This week finds us facing the internal blocks to creativity. Wow, uh-oh. It may be tempting to abandon ship at this point. Don't. We will explore and acknowledge the emotional difficulties that beset us in the past as we made creative efforts. We will undertake healing at the shame of past failures. We will gain in compassion as we reparent the frightened artist child who yearns for creative accomplishments. We will learn the tools to dismantle emotional blocks and support renewed risk. Wow. So I guess it's going to be a really big week next week. I can't wait to explore it. And thank you for hanging with me and staying in there. And I hope you have a great morning, noon, night, whenever you're watching this, wherever you are. And I'll see you next week.